All right, let's start by giving all praises to the Most High, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, and the Holy Spirit, who taught us his truth. Honors to the brethren that's doing the work to push the gospel, risking their life and freedom to do so. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the true biblical Israelites who will be seeking their salvation here in the last days by returning back to the Most High. So we back with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Not sure what I'm going to title the lesson, but we're going to go into Esau's sorceries and enchantments. And we brung this information out in a live lesson about a week or two ago, but I wanted to show it on the screen so people can see this stuff, this information for themselves. All right, so we're going to start with this first article, and we're going to get the title. New cases of cancer in the U.S. expected to explode this year. Expected to explode in number this year. We are witnessing an explosion of cancer in the U.S. that is unprecedented. As you will see below, it is projected that the numbers of new cases of cancer in the U.S. will hit a brand new record high this year, and cancer rates are rising particularly rapidly among our young people. So so we see this is about cancer, exploding amongst the people this year. Now we're going to hit Isaiah chapter 47, and just for some backstory, this is concerning future Babylon, which would be America. That's why Isaiah 47:1 says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." So this is narrating the fall of Babylon, the fall of America. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. So the fall of America and its people. So when we come to verse 12, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. So Esau came into power and stayed in power for so long due to his enchantments and sorceries. If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. For the Lord said unto Esau the white man, America, to stand on your enchantments and your sorceries, that you may prevail, that he may prevail against prophecy and not fall. So the Lord is really challenging Esau. But we're going to get this word enchantments and sorceries, the definition of it in the Blue Letter Bible. So when we come to this word enchantment,
Strong's H2267, Hever, Hever. Strong's H2267, Hever, Hever.
So one of the words that came up will be a magician, a charmer, a spell. And you know what a spell is when you put a spell on somebody, like in the TV shows. And then when I went further and looked up this word spell, I went to the word spell not as a verb, meaning an action, but as a noun. Then I went to the second definition, and it said an irresistible influence. And that's what a spell is, when you cast an irresistible influence over whoever you putting a spell on. Like certain romantic movies, there's a saying, a love spell, when you do something to somebody and they madly influenced by it and in love with you. And that also is true for like witches and warlocks. When you watch them kind of movies, they put spells on the people. That's an irresistible influence, that you cast over the people to really have control over them. So the Lord said to Esau, stand out with thine enchantments, continue, with your spells, your irresistible influence. And what's that irresistible influence concerning America? That would be its media, what they put on the news, what they put out on the radios, the articles that they put online, the information that they determine to be truth or fact. You know, what they put in the TV shows, the movies, the cartoons, the video games, the music. That's an irresistible influence. Is that if somebody hears something long enough and frequent enough, they be influenced by it. They believe it to be true. You know, that becomes part of their reality. And for example, Esau will tell you, you know, there's going to be so many deaths this year because of the CV. And he'll keep repeating that, you know, all over. They tell you that there's a new outbreak and the number of infected people are going up. That's all an enchantment. Or they tell you that this many people gonna die, that this sickness got this kind of kill rate. That's all an enchantment. And if you hear it long enough, you'll be influenced by it because it's irresistible. You know, it's all over the media, and that becomes your truth and your reality. And we got an example of an old enchantment right here. You see the title, V That Thing Up. Now, this came out in 2020 during the time of the pandemic when they started pushing the V thing. Now, check this out.
Online date chat, find a mate chat, open up the okay ass, okay yeah, profile picture looking tight chat, nice chat, got your bio reading right chat, precise chat, but before you find a date chat, you gotta wait chat, gotta go vaccinate chat, get it straight chat, girl you look good, want your fact.
So yeah, that's an example of an enchantment. They got rims, girls, jewelry, celebrities, but you got two syringes with needles in the back. That's an example of an enchantment. And this enchantment, you know, is all over America through her propaganda, her media. Again, what you see on the TV, your phone, your computer screen, the radio, what you read in the paper, in the classrooms. This is all enchantments. Like every time somebody died. If it was a car accident, it was the C thing. If they died from smoking, it was the C thing. If they got mauled to death by a wild bear, they died because of the C thing, the CV. But these are those enchantments. So now we're going to go back to this article that we know what the enchantments are. New cases of cancer in the U.S. expected to explode in number this year. That's an enchantment in itself. Because now your brain is already being influenced by what Esau is about to tell you, whether it's true or not. And you're not going to just see this title on this article here. You're going to hear it in the news. You're going to read it in a paper. You're going to see it in another article somewhere. So we read the first paragraph. Now let's get the second and third. There have been so many prominent individuals in the news that have been diagnosed with cancer recently. Like who? It's an enchantment. It's telling you what you have seen in the news. Did anybody see any prominent individuals diagnosed with cancer in the news? You know, I haven't. As far as I know, everybody been dropping from cardiac arrest. But see, that's an enchantment. It's a spell that's been cast over the people. And it's going to be irresistible to most people. And this is going to be their reality and their truth. And so many people who I personally know have been diagnosed with cancer recently. Now, see, Esau about to play on your emotions. He said so many people I know personally. Nigga, like who? You know, let's see the medical records. So this is just an enchantment. I am sure that most of you also personally know people who have been affected by this disease being cancer. So that's Esau playing on your emotions. This is an enchantment. This nigga telling you what you've seen personally, that he knows that you know personally somebody that has cancer, and most of us probably don't. You know, we hear of people here and there that got cancer, but it's not that big of an issue as they say it is. Of course, cancer has been one of the leading causes of death for a very long time. I thought the leading cause of death was HIV, the flu, people dropping who took the JAB, sudden cardiac arrest, you know, obesity, heart disease. I thought those are the leading causes of death. This is an enchantment, but we have never witnessed anything like this. So he put you in it. He said, we have never witnessed anything like this. Well, most of us don't even see the same thing that these devils are singing. This is an enchantment. But we're going to continue on back with Isaiah 14 and 12. Stand now with thine enchantments. That's an irresistible influence that Esau will have over the people via his media. You know, rather it's entertainment, rather it's information. It's all to influence and the American people ultimately to have control over them, which them enchantments was super heavy 2020, 2021. How they were saying that so-called blacks and Hispanic and Native American communities are more at risk from the CV. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans got to get the CV in their neighborhoods first. You know, so help us in the fight against the CV and come get your JAB. Those are heavy enchantments. And with the multitude of thy sorceries. Now we're going to look at this word sorceries in the Blue Letter Bible. And we see that word sorceries. I don't think I clicked the pronunciation of the word in Greek, but sorceries, pharmakia. And this word pharma reminds you of what? The pharmaceutical industry, the pharmacy. So pharmakia. Now check this out. Pharmakia. The use of administering of drugs. And what are those drugs that you administer? It's the medication. All right, then you see right here, we gonna go down. It reads medication. Then in parentheses, it has pharmacy. This is for the word sorceries. So the use or the administering of drugs, medication, pharmacy. This is all witchcraft, sorcery, black magic. You know, the pharmaceutical industry. Then it reads poisoning, because that's ultimately what Esau's sorcery, his pharmaceutical industry, his medications are doing, is poisoning the people. It solves one problem, but causes 50 more problems. Sometimes even, well, a lot of times even killing you. And that's how we know this is an enchantment, because I seen an article that we brought out some weeks ago at camp that the number one cause of death was big pharma, the pharmaceutical industry, you know, because of their poisonous medications. So let's get this article, this precept again. Stand now with thine enchantments, your media, your entertainment, your information, to cast an irresistible influence over the people, so that what? You may hit them up with your sorceries. Administer to them a poisonous drug that you call medication. All right, so we see the enchantments are up with this article. Now they about to bring them sorceries back up. So we're going to get this next article. We run this information out. I just want the people to see it for themselves. First human trials for cancer, VAX, underway. We're going to call it the VAC. That's easier to say. First human trials for cancer, VAC, underway. Now, see that? See those enchantments? They programming your mind to put fear in you, to thinking, you know, cancer gonna be all over the damn place. Like, damn, I might even get cancer. Damn, so many individuals getting cancer. It's all over the news, according to this article. Well, now they got a solution. They got the cancer VAC on the way. You know, for those who are stricken with fear by this irresistible influence. Check this out. A study shows that a new mRNA cancer VAC can reprogram the immune system to attack tumor cells within 48 hours. So red flag already, this word mRNA, which we should be very familiar with that word, especially going back to 2020 and more specifically 2021. But those who may have forgotten, we're going to remind you. The first ever human clinical trial of 4 adult patients showed that the jab, let me say JAB. Y'all remember that word JAB? That should be, we should have a very good memory of that, because that was Esau's enchantments. All right, showed that the JAB helps fight aggressive and deadly brain tumors. So let's see if this. Let's just get to the point. It uses technology similar to the COVID VAC to train the immune system, and it is also personalized to patients using their DNA. So this is the same scheme that this devil was doing back in 2021. He was using mRNA technology to develop the VAC for the COVID. Well, guess what? He's using the same mRNA technology to develop, you know, a new VAC to fight cancer, which is supposed to explode on the scene this year. All right, so we're gonna pull this up real quick. Now we should be it should be fresh in our mind now that this word mRNA was heavily associated with the VAC for the COV. So how mRNA COV VAC work? And this gives you that whole rundown, messenger, mRNA, genetic material goes into the body and forces the body to create fighter cells. But we already then got the info that this also alters your genome and phenotype. Trying not to say the words too much. But yeah, the first article was the enchantments. Now here goes the sorceries. Like who asked this nigga to make a VAC for cancer? Make a VAC for obesity. Matter of fact, why is there a VAC that needs to be made at all? Why is this so much sickness in the earth? All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, mRNA VACs like P. Pfizer, Moderna, COVJABs became widespread during the pandemic, and researchers are now redeploying, meaning they're reusing that same mRNA technology to treat other diseases, this case being cancer. All right, so now that we got that, we're going to hit Revelation 18 and 23, which I was supposed to get. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, concerning Babylon, America. The voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall not be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, and for by thy sorceries. What are the sorceries? The administering of drugs, poisoning, medication, pharmacy. For by thy sorceries, thy medication, thy drugs, thy pharmacy were all nations deceived. Yeah, because wasn't America helping all these different countries get their doses of the JAB? Didn't they kill the Haitian president because he refused the JAB? And after they put a hit on them, Haiti, Jamaica was full of the JAB for the COV. So yeah, America tricked all the nations, all the countries in the earth to getting this medication, this poisonous drug, the VAC for the COV. All right, so now we're going to go get this all the way through. Back to Isaiah 47 and 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries. So this is really all about control, because really what it come down to is they got to roll out the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. So this is really practice for that, to get your mind conditioned by the irresistible influence, by fear, into doing everything that this devil tell you to. So when they tell you, well, now you got to take the chip, you done took everything else at this point. You in so much fear, the devil done put a strong spell on you. Now you just go and stick your hand out, just like everybody did what? When they stuck their arm out. Well, guess what? Well, we get to that in a minute. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. So Esau, he's still standing on them enchantments and them sorceries, and he's gonna amp up on that stuff. Like we got another enchantment right here. Now people don't even pay the COV no mind no more. That failed miserably. He had the people for a minute, but people ain't hearing that no more. But it says two new COV variants called flirt are spreading in the US. What are the symptoms? Well, we know what the symptoms are. It's the symptoms of the last variant and the variant before that and the variant and the variant before that. But why the hell is it a capital F, capital L, a lowercase I, but a capital R and a capital T? See, this devil, he's on them enchantments. He running out of ideas. He don't know what to do next. And see, if this had been 2021, the talks of this new variant would have been all over the place, but the people ain't even going for it no more. You can read about that in chapter 10 or 11 or 13 in a minute. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none see of me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Them saying in their heart, I am, that's like them saying, I'm God. Because Yahweh means what? He is or he exists. What did the Lord tell Moses in Egypt? Tell them, I am sent you. In other words, tell them Yahweh sent you. He is, I am, depending on the perspective of who's saying it. So yeah, he can only use his knowledge and wisdom, for evil. And we go down to verse 13, thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Yeah, that's why they come up with two new variants, and it's spelled stupidly. There's not even proper grammar, which Esau pushed on us so heavy in school, proper grammar. Like, what really in the hell is the case for the lowercase I? But yeah, Esau is weary in the multitude of his counsels. He running out of ideas. He don't know what to do next. The people not going for it no more like they did in 2020, 2021. Everybody woke up from those enchantments and found out it was all BS. You see some people still under that spell though. They still wearing masks and stuff. But yeah, he's growing weary or tired in his enchantments. It ain't working on the people no more. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators stand up. There would be the people, the astronomers, people who look at the signs either in the sky or in the earth. They might project and predict that so many people gonna die this year by such and such. This many people gonna be infected by such and such. Those are the monthly prognosticators. People who are supposed to project and foresee the future of the American people. Well, the Lord is telling them to stand up and see if they can save thee from all these things that shall come upon thee. And what's going to come upon them, we're going to get verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Yeah, you got your stargazers and astronomers and monthly prognosticators, but they can't see what the Lord is about to send. Mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Yeah, because Esau got to pay a heavy price for deceiving the nations with his enchantments and his sorceries. It says were all nations deceived, all people, the whole earth. And this is only going to morph into what? Revelation 13, 16, and 17. See, Esau seeing in the multitude of his counsels what's working and what's not working no more. He might throw some bullshit out there, like this flirt variant. Well, that ain't work. So Esau know he got to throw something else out there, which he got the bird flu. That's a heavy enchantment right now, because I ain't seen nobody that had the bird flu yet. Big as a problem that's supposed to be. Then you got, I don't want to really say the names of these illnesses to get the channel took down. And see, Esau put them trying to put a virus on the computer. But it all come down to this. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Cause of all, he's going to cause all people, most of the earth, to get it by what? Those enchantments, those irresistible influence. You take, a pandemic a sickness with an actual high kill rate in conjunction with a famine and a power outage, no internet, rioting and purging in the streets, that may just be enough to get the people to receive a mark in a right hand, being this right here. This the mark in the right hand and in the forehead. That's the Neuralink brain chip. They telling you all the miracles it can do. It can cause people to walk who's been paralyzed. You can regain function in your limbs that ain't working. Paralyzed people can now use electronic devices with their mind. Those are enchantments. That's a spell, something to put an irresistible influence on you to get you thinking a certain kind of way about what Esau was doing. And then what? The brain chip malfunction. We just showed that in the last lesson, which other brothers did lessons on it. And that no man might buy or sell, say if he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So the enchantments ain't gonna work. He gotta straight up crash the money system and have a new digital currency, which is gonna be the legal tender. And legally, only the digital currency will be used. That's ultimately what it's gonna come down to. Because all his enchantments and everything else he coming with in them secret councils, it ain't gonna work on the people. The people fed up with this devil. All right, so we're gonna also go down here to verse 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. You gotta burn the witch. Esau is the witch with his sorceries, administering of poisonous drugs, what he calls medication. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before. So this ain't gonna be a campfire, this gonna be nuclear fire. So yeah, Esau is standing on them enchantments, or how the scriptures say, stand now with thine enchantments and sorceries. I think I might title the lesson, Fall with Your Enchantments and Sorceries. So yeah, Esau all over the place. He all over the place. And guess what? The people that's believing on this devil, they all over the place too. Which we're going to show this real quick. That's how when we come to Isaiah chapter 30, verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. Modern day Pharaoh being America. Because America is modern day Egypt. That's why the pyramid's on the back of the dollar. And your trust in the shadow of Egypt. Your trust in America. Your trust in the government shall be your confusion. So if you really pay attention to this devil and believe everything he say, you'll be confused. So yeah, that's it for this lesson here. Lord willing, it was edifying. Oh, last point. New cases of a cancer in the U.S. expected to explode in number this year. So yeah, cancer is on the rise, supposedly. It won't be a shocker, but concerning the RFID market chip, that gives cancer. So this could be hinting at they plan on rolling out the RFID microchip this year. And then once everybody get that, they're going to get cancer sometime after. Now, Lord willing, next lesson we do, we going to show that the RFID microchip actually gives you cancer. And you're going to hear it out the devil's mouth itself. We ain't got to tell you. All right, till next time, Shalom.